inside. He still was able to sling it.
Now Elliott can face the goal. He can give it to Gideon and go for the run. He kicks the goal. Collingwood are in front. Collingwood are in front.
Hello, I'm Damian Barrett. Welcome to Access All Areas. We're here thanks to Crypto.com. One of the great home and away seasons has just been completed, Matthew Lloyd, and it may well be that game number 197 of 198 was the absolute best of the lot.
You're probably right, Damo. The drama at the MCG yesterday between Carlton and Collingwood was outstanding. To sit back and watch it on the couch and see, I've seen this story before. Collingwood, they come at you. Carlton missed early opportunities in the last quarter just to put Collingwood away, didn't take them. And then Collingwood, their amazing ability under Craig McRae to train for these situations, play them out really well and win, versus Carlton, who have just blown it the last 2 weeks. Bitterly disappointing.
It is, and incredibly, we have seen this story 11 times before, with Collingwood winning a game of footy by less than 2 goals. And yet it's still breathtaking each time we witness it. And how they took that game on, being 25 points down in the last quarter, to win the game of footy and secure the doubles finals chance, Lord. No matter what happens from here, it is already, in the context of where they were coming from, a great Collingwood season. It is. The belief they have is just something that every team would love to have. And let's take a look at the last quarter yesterday where Carlton should have put it away. So this is, you see the scoreboard there, they're 23 points up, dominated the third quarter. I won't say take your 30 seconds, because he still should have kicked that goal. He's hit the belly of the ball, missed it. This one, obviously, that's a 50-50 chance, but still kick that. It's probably all over. Again, this is bread and butter for a key forward. You just kick these This is the
goals.
Coleman medalist, Lordo, who yesterday kicked 2 goals, 5 Charlie Curnow, and one other kick that fell well short. What's that kick there from Doherty? So they had their chances, Lordo. Now, what are you showing us here? Because this is when they're still in front, and again, Curnow's got the ball. So
2 minutes 11, you've got to hit Durden up there, and why kick it to a 50-50 situation where this is where most scores come from? They ping off half back, so Curnow made the mistake there. He could have taken another 30 seconds off the clock, hit up a player in Durden there, where off the back of that kick, where it was just a panicked rush kick, which he didn't need to go to, Jamie Elliott kicks the goal that puts them in front.
So there's still hope. They're now 1 point down. We know that a draw gets them into the finals. Durden's got it this week. Mackay's presenting himself to him in this moment.
Yeah, Darcy Moore switched off. Darcy Moore has got so lucky there because he switched off. And what was that kick? That, again, was a player not understanding the situation. He panicked. He kicked to nowhere. And Carlton have just blown it. They had 8 points in the bank the last 2 weeks. Collingwood, full credit to them because they play situations well. They never believe they're out of a situation. But Carlton, that one, don't just think it's going to be, next year we'll learn from the experience, because there's always other teams who improve as well. So they should be playing finals.
8 points, as you say, in the bank that they've just let go. But prior to that, Lord, they were 8. They were 12 and 6 after 18 completed matches. Lost their last 4 matches to miss the finals.
Yeah, and that's right. They don't deserve it if you missed your last 4 to not make the finals. But they're good enough to be there. The Western Bulldogs, they aren't playing the best foot. I think Carlton are probably going better than them, but the Doggies took that chance.
We'll get to them in a minute, because there were so many heroes for Collingwood. Jamie Elliott, again, match winning. You've got Scott Pendlebury, who's as assured as ever. Josh Dacos stood up yet again. And as for Braden Maynard, Lordo, he may be the future captain of this football club.
Yeah, he's so versatile. So he started the game in the centre bounce on Patrick Cripps, and he was just at Patrick. Mind you, Cripps had a ripper game in the end, but this guy is built for finals. So when you're running down the race and you're looking Braden Maynard standing beside you, go, okay, I feel better for him being around me. So brutally tough. He's skillful, lethal left foot on him. He can do multiple roles. So, he's had an outstanding season.
Darcy Moore, incredible again yesterday. Jack Crisp as well. They just stand up, don't they, when they have to?
They do, and well done to Craig McRae on what he's done in the space of 12 months. He just galvanised his football club. And Justin Leppich, Brendan Bolton, it's been a good coaching performance.
Collingwood supporters obviously celebrating. So too the Western Bulldogs, Lordo. Did what they had to do yesterday and beat Hawthorn in Tasmania. Airline lounge, watching the final moments. They're great scenes.
They are good scenes, and they got the job done by 23 points against the Hawks, who are always tough to beat there. And then
Adam Treloar celebrating a Collingwood win. He's still getting paid by Collingwood, Lordo.
Double win for Adam Treloar there. But they would have thought they were gone at three-quarter time, and then their season extends by 2 weeks. and we'll talk about that final soon where they're a sneaky chance.
Yep. We don't want to go too early with the superstar phrase, but are we seeing the birth of one with Sam Darcy? Third game of footy, now adding key marking forward and goal kicker to his repertoire.
What I liked about it, they're 11 points down here, and Luke Beveridge says we need something extra in that forward line, and after 3 games, he's just a nightmare of a matchup. So they just couldn't handle his height. I don't know if he's 203, 208. I hear all these.
He's close to 209, I think.
209,
now. Yeah,
209 centimetres, and turning Sicily inside out. Good quality player, Sicily. And this grab is as good as it gets. Just a 1v1 down the line, and he just plucks a huge grab. Could have kicked 3 or 4. It's an exciting forward line going into that final with Norton, Ugelhagen. Obviously, what they do with.
Bruce is providing. He's
yeah.
taking a defender, obviously,
and Darcy as well. So it's pretty exciting now.
Yep. The Swans had to get over the Saints to ensure they, like Collingwood, got the doubles finals chance. And there were some nervous moments. It's when you need your older season players, of which Hayward now is, Lordo, kicking the last 2 goals of the game to lock that victory away. It was a good performance from him because these are tough goals in those contexts.
It's what I love about the Sydney Swans is just how many blokes can bob up and do the job for you. Will Hayward, he kicked 3 on the day, but 2 late ones to seal the game for Sydney. Isaac Heaney, another couple. Buddy, another couple. Logan McDonald, another few. So they're just such an even team, the Sydney Swans.
Just got to get the job done sometimes, don't you?
Yeah.
And while they will want to play better than they did against the Saints, they just knew at stake, win the game and then sort it out.
Yeah, they did that. They would have liked to have won by more to get up to a Sydney home final, but wasn't to be.
Now, Tom Papley had some friendly fire, to use that phrase, that sporting phrase, when he contacted Buddy Franklin, taken out of the game for concussions reasons, Lordo. Now, AFL, conveniently maybe, just by chance otherwise, have scheduled the Swans for a Friday week final. I raise that because had they wanted to play them on the Thursday, the concussion protocols wouldn't have been cleared.
Yeah, I'm pleased. I think the game's the winner there. That it's not a Thursday night final because we want to see Tom Papley playing. Yep.
Max King started kicking well again on the weekend, which is a good story given what happened to him the previous week. Got himself involved in an incident off the ball with Tom McCartan, Lordo. Interestingly enough, Paddy McCartan, his brother, goes to the attention of his brother rather than his opponent when this happened early in the game.
Yeah, so Max gets a nice, easy pass up where Paddy could have actually tried to stop that, but he's so intent on seeing his brother first and then going over to remonstrate with Max King. They've given up the first goal of the game to Max King, but
the bond is so powerful.
Yeah, it is. But I think in that situation, I'm not sure if it'll be looked at further. I'm sure it will be. But you're hustling and bustling, trying to get off your man. I think he's accidentally clipped him there.
Let's take a look at how the finals look, Lordo. So we'll start on Thursday week with Brisbane at home to Richmond. We'll then move into that Swans game against Melbourne. That's the first of the double chance games. It's the second qualifying final officially. Massive one on the Saturday twilight, Geelong v Collingwood, and then the Fremantle Western Bulldogs game. Richmond playing Brisbane, that's the one that jumps off the page to me. Richmond, I feel, will be alive in the second week of the series.
Yeah, I think they'll go in as favourites, even though it's at the Gabba. I think the Brisbane Lions choking in previous finals. The performance against Melbourne was diabolical on Friday night. So I think the form Richmond are in, I think they can take that out as well.
The Essendon storyline exploded this time last week, Lotto. We spoke about it at length on Access All Areas last week. That was before round 23. Ben Rutten enforced to endure a week from hell, a self-inflicted club week from hell, and a lack of respect for him by, I'm happy to say, David Burham, the new incoming president, forcing him, and that's David Burham there, to coach that game of footy. They then did what they weren't able to do and didn't want to do the previous week, and that is sack him on yesterday afternoon. This is post-match. Now, supporters of Ben Rutten are in shot there. Simon Madden, you can see, Xavier Campbell, Peter Ellamy also believes in shot there, and it's a divided board. Before I get your opinions, I know you've got different ones to me on this topic, but Joe Watson, former captain, Brownlow medalist, having had that removed because of the drug saga, had a lot of strong comments to make on Channel 7 pre-match.
To quote the great Tony Soprano, remember when is the lowest form of conversation. You can't keep looking back. They need to formulate a plan, stick to it, get the right people in the right roles and back them in.
Now, look, I've written about this for AFL.com.au. You can't make that up, that Joe Watson would bring in Tony Soprano into a conversation about why you shouldn't, which Kevin Sheedy wants to do, bring James Hird back as coach.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's been a messy couple of weeks, and I think that Dave Barham, didn't handle the Ben Rutten situation well at all. He should have gone the moment they rang Alistair Clarkson. It's messy. I don't think the board are united. I agree with Job in that, it's such an unsettled football club. And that would be a worry for any coach coming in. But I think Dave, at the end of the day, is trying to get change for the better because it's been mediocrity for so long and it's been the same cycle where, OK, we'll make this little change, we'll make that little change. He wants big change, but they probably just haven't gone about it the right way over the past week or so.
I look at it, though, him being on the board for 7 years, and what's he been doing for 7 years? That's where I come from, Lloyd. And then, as I say, the lack of respect for someone who's contracted as an Essendon person with what he did to Ben Rutten. And while he has acknowledged and apologised to a point, I still don't think it lets him get off this.
Yeah. He would say he hasn't been heard as a board member, and a lot of them haven't been heard. So they're on the board, but they're not really being able to have any cut through. And that's what they want to change for, and that's what we'll think will happen in the coming months.
Made the comment yesterday, Lordo, David Barham, that he feels they need an experienced coach. So that's jumping the gun on what the review is going to show. That limits the club markedly, doesn't it? And just to illustrate that point, the 8 clubs that have made the finals in 2022 all have coaches who are coaching that club for the first time in their AFL coaching careers. That's how hard it is to get success. So if you're limiting it to someone who's been there and done it, it's not a massive pool.
No, I'm with you 100%, and I hope he clarifies his situation and opens up and says, experience is Craig McRae types who have been in the game for 15, 20 years, but they haven't coached senior football. That's what I'd hope he would clarify in the coming days.
One more thing on this, just watch Kevin Sheedy's moves in the next week or so. He's an intriguing character at the best of times. I think he's got another card to play somewhere along the lines in this. Noah Cumberland for the Tigers, Lord. One of the great stories this year. They've developed organically. He's been one of these players that has allowed them to I still think, dream as big as they want to dream.
Just on James Hird, what I loved about playing with James is that they didn't know what sort of matchup to play on him. Do you play a tall on him or do you play a small one? I know Cumberland's only a 5 or 6 game player, but that's the dilemma that teams have against him. You've got Revolt, you've got Lynch, and then you've got Cumberland who is too good in the air for smalls and he's too quick for bigs. So he's going to be a star for a number of years.
You mentioned James Hird. I probably should ask you, do you want James Hird back as coach, as Kevin Sheedy does?
I think probably no, Damo, just because I think of what has gone on previous, and I think that they need to start afresh.
I'd be staggered if they went down that path. Lordo, Dane Zorko, disgusting, disgraceful words issued by him to Harrison Petty on Friday night at the Gabba. And the aftermath was this: Stephen May and other Melbourne players seeking clarity. Zorko, to his credit, I say this, he did apologise there. He apologised publicly yesterday. Melbourne and Petty don't want this matter to go further. Wouldn't have taken a stretch for the AFL to have come down harder than they have, allowing these two clubs to mop this up. Yeah,
very fortunate. He's very, very fortunate that he's playing in this first final because obviously we respect Harrison Petty and his wishes. But if someone had to want to take this further, I think Zorko would maybe not be playing this first final.
I'm with you on that, and I think that should have been a consideration out of what happened on the game itself. Look, you haven't been sold at all on Brisbane all year, and we got to see it and what you've been saying about them in the first 16 seconds of this game.
Well, look at their setup at the stoppage. So they all just like bees to a honeypot, and then next minute, that's how Melbourne get you. They get you out the front of the stoppage, and then, OK, it's going inside forward 50. Rich had to be stronger. Coleman's way off picket. So within 15, 16 seconds, they've made mistakes where they're just not on. They're just not on mentally. So this, I normally trust Starcevic, just too far off Bailey Fritsch, and then Gardner, could have shown 2 or 3 of these, punching into the corridor where he just panicked under pressure and then Melbourne kicked the goal. So full credit to Melbourne, but Brisbane, you just can't trust them.
The connection is the word that you use a lot, and it's illustrated in what Melbourne does, isn't it? And they're 11 goals up at half-time.
Yeah, 26 inside 50s apiece, yet Melbourne were 11 goals up at half-time. And this is what I haven't liked about Melbourne. They don't lower their eyes and find easier ways to score goals, but they did that really, really well. Some will say, was it allowed? by Brisbane, where they were just right off. And it was, but at least they were looking to do it, and Pickett dined out, as did Fritsch and Ben Brown as well.
I thought they were gone, and I now admit I was wrong. Do you still think they can win the flag?
They can win it, but I still think Geelong are clearly ahead of them.
Yep. Fremantle had to get the job done in adversity, because the Giants on the weekend were actually playing well, and it put them under significant pressure. Two players who've helped get them to the finals, Lordo, in Brayshaw and Sarong, were crucial to the comeback.
Yeah, what I love about these two is they're driving this team now and their fortune. So Sarong's had 32 disposals and kicked the goal, and Brayshaw's only weakness is that he doesn't kick goals, and he kicked 2 along with his 25 disposals when the game was there to be won. So, yeah, those two have gone past Nathan Fyfe as the driving forces of Fremantle in that midfield.
Yep. The Cats went through the motions yet again this year. They finished 2 games clear of the next best in the 2022 season, got the job done heavily again against the Eagles. And John Segler, Lordo, coming back in, now injury-free. Reece Stanley probably going to be right to play fitness-wise in a qualifying final. Do they play both, or do they go with only one, and who would it be?
Yeah, I think you only go with one. If Stanley's fit, I'd give him that opportunity because he's played for 20, 21 weeks.
And I think you can mount the case it's been his best season of football, Stanley.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So, but that's a good problem to have for Chris Scott. With Radigalea played as well. Mitch Duncan was out. Jeremy Cameron was out. So, but their depth is just the best of any team in the comp.
Yep. The brave player of the week for Crypto.com, Lordo, is the retirees. Great scenes here with Michael Hurley coming back after 2 years out with health issues. Matt DeBoer, another of the big-name retirees out of 2022. We've got Ben McAvoy there, a famous warrior for that club and St Kilda prior to that. A couple of guys who've played at a few clubs. Ryder there, Paddy Ryder, 3 clubs, down Hanbury 2, and then the great Robbie Gray saying farewell at Port Adelaide.
Absolute champions, all of them, absolutely all of them. And Hanbury didn't get a lot of luck, but he was a superstar at Sydney. Paddy Ryder's been instrumental at all 3 clubs, and well done to Michael Hurley. As a young guy, I wanted him to wear number 18 because he impacted me so much in our first year playing together. My last, his first. But so brave to get back to what he did.
Yep. And while we're on Brave, the top 5 Brave finals moments of the past 30 years, according to you, will be released on AFL.com and our social media AFL platforms from Tuesday. Any hints?
I won't give you any hints, Damo, but it's what you play footy for, is to perform in finals and show courage in finals.
We're talking about Brave finals moments.
Brave finals moments. So, I count back, and I'll give a hint. In the 80s is where I go back to when I first fell in love with the game, and that's my number 1 big moment.
All right, have a look at that on AFL.com.au, AFL Live app, as you will with all the AFL finals news and also the start of the AFLW season. Lotto, we'll be back next week for Access All Areas as we preview the 2022 final series.